Welcome back to the Football Tragics. No Tony yet again. Couldn't be after that poor result. Probably, let's be real, but the man's busy. I'm your host, Aaron, joined here by Campo and Morty, as usual. How are we doing today, lads? Morty, happy?
Mate.
Campo,
I'm happy.
Well, look, we'll get into probably half the reason why Morty's happy, because it's Newcastle 3, Everton 1. Lampard's first game in the Prem, it's a loss. Newcastle, the result that they need to get eventually, so it's a massive win for them. Kieran Trippier scoring a beauty of a free kick. What were your thoughts, Morty, on this one?
This game started off exactly how I thought it would start off. Own goal for own goal, assisted by the opposition's own goal scorer. So it's quite ironic. I don't think that's ever probably happened in football history. But yeah, Newcastle, they're looking positive. They're looking like they have some fight. They're there or thereabouts. Everton, yeah, look, it's his second game in charge, first game in Prem. 1-for-1. You can't look into it too much. You got two teams. If Everton won this game, we'd be saying the same thing about Everton, looking like they're avoiding that relegation. But yeah, props to Newcastle. They're doing well. Their signings have somewhat made a difference. Everton probably look like they need a bit more time. Whether they have that time is a different story, but that's on the club at this point.
Yeah, it was very much I suppose both teams didn't want to lose kind of situation. I think Newcastle probably needed it more, being that they're at home and, a few of the new boys getting some minutes now. I feel like it was a must-win for them. And Everton, yes, it was probably a must-win as well, but, away from home, it's a tricky one against a team, again, who had it all to play for. What were your thoughts, Camp, on this game? Surprised?
I just thought Newcastle's new boys stepped up, like your Trippiers. And you saw their second goal, Dele Alli gave the ball away so softly, and then it went to St. Maximin, cut in, went down the line, put it across, and then Fraser tapped it in. It's just poor from Dele in that position. And he started off his new Everton career with a big red cross through his name. But you can't take anything away from that free kick. That was just a thing of beauty from Trippier. And a fair result, in my opinion. They just dominated the shots that game and deserved 3 points.
Do you think that Dele will come good? You've obviously experienced him a fair bit, or do you think it's a complete write-off and he's just not the player he was when he burst into the scene?
He likes to play off the striker. He likes to run in behind the striker, get those chances. If you're going to play him in centre mid, he's no good there. He's not a box-to-box. He doesn't defend. He's slow. He just daddles on the ball too much. If you're not playing him in a centre forward role, he's useless.
Yeah, well, that's why I suppose that might be a reason why Lampard's brought both him and Donny in. Donny can play that box-to-box kind of style, and hopefully Dele can play, as a number 10, a bit higher up, like you mentioned there. I thought, look, Everton in spells looked okay, and I think that was just Lampard trying to get his football across, but Newcastle much better throughout the day. They definitely deserve the 3 points. It's a massive win. Puts them out of the relegation zone for now. Couple of games in hand still. So, yeah, hopefully they're on the way up for their sake. That's 2 wins in a row now, unbeaten in 4. Looking okay, especially with, Bruno Guimaraes to come into the starting lineup, just not just off the bench. Hopefully positive signs for their sake. For the rest of the world, probably wants to see him go down. Not so much. All right, West Ham versus Watford, 1-0 West Ham. Pretty expected result. I didn't think we were ever going to see anything different, really. Morty, we'll come back to you again. What were your thoughts?
Bowen looks like probably the most improved player of the season so far. He's on fire, literally. Can't stop scoring. And we started off Antonio kicking off the season, and Bowen, looks like their player of the season. That first month, Antonio looked like he couldn't lose it. Basically, that title. He's scoring for fun, and Bowen's taken over. Funnily enough, Kurt Zuma in the starting team.
What did you make of that? What's your opinions on, obviously, whoever hasn't heard, Kurt Zuma was filmed kicking a cat at his home, and he's been fined and a lot's happened, but he somehow started this game. David Moyes still started him.
Well, I think, whatever's come out's come out. Look, we're not going to sit here and say what he's done's right, because it's definitely not. But I think this is kind of what those players. I know Antonio touched on it slightly, whether his comments are the right way of doing it or not. But look at the uproar it's caused from this incident, and look at the way that the racism's kind of been handled. Why some of those players didn't even want to take the knee at some points, because they've had Zuma's lost a 4-year deal with Adidas. The shirt sponsor doesn't want to, put up its payments to West Ham if Zuma's keeps playing. Where is this from the companies when some of the players that have been in those headlines in the past are still playing? They've had the match bans, sure, rightly so, but none of this has happened before, and I think this is kind of where some of it's missed the point over the last few years. And not to make it bigger than or what's worse saying this or doing that, but everyone has their time of day, and as Antonio said, this is almost going to put Zuma out of football if it keeps going the way it's going. But some players have had their redemption and they're playing again, so we'll leave it at that. I think it's a bit how you're going, how it's kind of been handled, and how it's been treated in light of other situations as well, because how United have handled the Greenwood situation. I think probably West Ham could have handled Zuma a little bit better, maybe not playing in this game and kind of holding off a little bit, but then the backlash would have happened either way, the same sort of thing. So
I think it's pretty iffy one. I thought no, I didn't think it was going to blow under the rug, but I didn't think it would be blown out of proportion. Well, I suppose it's a big deal, but I thought, you said there, West Ham would fine him. He wouldn't be playing this game. He possibly cop a ban even from the PL. But it's gone way further. RSPCA has got involved, taking his cats from him, which is it's the right call. Yeah. He's going to get fined 250,000, which is the maximum fine you can get apparently from the club. And but at this point he still hasn't been given any match bans. David Moyes was definitely wrong to start in this game, and I think his comments saying that we needed to start him, he's one of our better players, is just wrong, because football, yes, is important. Winning games is important, but those kind of things, obviously, it's not a good look for your club. And I think pretty much when they released their lineup, everybody, even West Ham fans, were blowing up about it, saying it's wrong. So that's happened. But back to the game at hand. Jared Bowen, unreal player, like you mentioned there, most improved for sure. It's a pity we haven't really seen him and Michael Antonio play really good together. It's like it's one or the other kind of thing. Like Antonio started the season hot, Bowen's now hot. I'd love to see them kind of link up a bit more and both get amongst the goal on the same day kind of thing, and really push West Ham and keep them into this top 4 position, because they're a scary team when they want to play. And Jared Bowen is a great player, so that's kind of what I want to see. From West Ham in terms of Watford. It's not going to get much better from what I don't think. They're in a hot pick. I don't think Roy Hodgson can get them out of it, really. Campo, do you agree with that? What are your thoughts?
I don't think Watford played too badly, to be honest. I think they let one clear-cut chance that entire game, and it took a lucky deflection shot to beat Ben Foster. So, again, a harsh way to lose on a deflected goal, but you'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. And West Ham found a way to win, and they're going to push for that top 4.
Spot on.
That's the Roy Hodgson approach. That's what he does. He plays for that thing, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to concede that goal to him. And Roy Hodgson isn't that manager, and so I can't wait to see him go down.
Campo, do you think real quickly, does Roy Hodgson have enough to keep him up, or is it?
I can't believe they even brought him in the first place. I'm sick of him in the Prem. Just get out.
Well, he said he retired, and now he's just back all of a sudden. I reckon he probably just thought, this is an easy 6 months. I'll get sacked in 6 months anyway. Let me just get one final for not much work. I feel like that's the way he sees it. Moving forward, we don't have Tony, but it was Burnley 1-1 with United. Would have loved his opinion on this game, but basically what he said in our inbox was stuff Maguire he's crap, he's done. He's been done for a while, but that defending for that goal, disgusting. Campo, thoughts on the game? Pogba obviously took the lead early. Great goal. He's kind of back.
Well, United took the lead early, and the goal would have stood if it wasn't for Maguire in an offside position blocking Jay Rodriguez. So it's just an all-round bad game for Maguire, this one. But as he said, Pogba took the goal. It was a beautiful team goal from Bruno to Rashford to Shaw, then the cut back to Pogba. And United were dominating first half, dominating. Half time happens and they come out just a completely different team. Burnley were on the press, attacking, and that from Weghorst, that was just was gorgeous. And then 1-1. Burnley had some good chances in the second half to make it 2-1, but then based on the game, United I think still deserved the win, but they were kicking themselves they didn't get the win.
Yeah, for sure. Taylor two halves, like you said there. United looked good first, not so good the second. I think that Workhorse, he's made for Burnley. Like we all said it, but he's just that Burnley striker. Even more so than Chris Wood was, Ashley Barnes. But the problem with Burnley is this draw, as good as it is, it's not gotten off the bottom of the table. And I think it's doom and gloom for them. I can't see them staying up this year when there's teams like Newcastle who are starting to kick into gear a little bit. What are your thoughts, Morty, on that? Newcastle, Burnley probably going down, yes, and United, what do you reckon?
Well, just got a quick stat for you. No player has attempted more shots in the last, I think it's 5 games without scoring. Sorry, it's just all season. Sorry, no player has attempted more shots without scoring than Cristiano Ronaldo this season.
Is he finished? Give us a quote. Is he finished?
No, you can't say he's finished. I just think that I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I can't sit here and knock the bloke. He's done everything that's possible, but he's. I think it just goes to show you, you had Ramos captaining him at Real Madrid. You had Chiellini captaining him at Juventus. He's come here and he's got Maguire calling the shots. I think it says more about the rest of the team than it does about Ronaldo, but at the end of the day, he came back. This is what he came here for, and where do they go to from now? Because they've proven that they can't keep buying these players. It's not working for them.
You saw the week they dropped Maguire, and they looked bloody great. They probably played their best football all year, and then all of a sudden he's back in the lineup and seems to have Ralph's trust again, and this is how he's repaying him. So hugely poor result away from home when you've gone 1-0 up.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't really know what goes on at United lately. I mean, you look at Shaw; he puts on the England shirt. He's a world beater. Even in the good games, Maguire, I can't say much. He just bullies the shit teams in Europe, but the rest of them, they all kind of perform for their countries and they do all that. But then they come back to United, and I don't know what happens. That's what it is. And Burnley, I can't give any credit to Burnley here whatsoever. Weghorst, yeah, fair enough, quality striker, but he's not saving them. They're going down. They can continue this draw run. They got 3 games in hand. They draw all 3. They're still bottom of the table. All the other teams have picked up their wins. Burnley have not. They've got 1 win.
They're unbeaten in 3 draws in a row, and they do have, like you said, I think they have 4 games in hand. They've played 20, but you probably have to look at who they're playing in those games, and you just say they're probably going to get maximum a win out of them. It's just not going to be enough. So
they've got 4 games in hand, but so does everyone else down there.
Yeah.
Watford have 2, Norwich have 1, Newcastle have 2. It's verging on no hope for them left down there.
It's an interesting take on why Weghorst probably would have gone there in the first place. Maybe he's just on a lucrative deal because he probably had to know that Burnley, there's a good chance they're not staying up. So to go from being one of the hot strikers in Bundesliga to now playing Championship, he must be probably on the big bucks. Otherwise, it's like, why would you leave?
Fat paycheck before he retires.
Yeah, it's probably the only reason I can see why he'd go. But unless he just wanted to, test himself, hope for a good 6 months, and then go sign for Everton or whoever can just stay up. But we'll move forward. Norwich versus Crystal Palace. Well, we saw an absolute worldy goal. We saw the fastest goal in the Prem this season, and we saw just a laughable penalty. Two of those occurred from the same player. Yeah, funny result. I thought Palace should win this game against a Norwich team, but Dean Smith got him playing a little bit of footy at Norwich. Went early, went up 1-0, and then, yeah. How did you see it, Campo? Was it a fair result? Oh, he's frozen.
He's frozen.
Morty, thoughts?
I'll go first then. Yeah, Norwich, they're looking like they can play a bit of ball. Whether that's going to work, I don't know. But Palace, they seem like they're kind of a bit Robin Hood this season. They're taking points from the big boys, giving them straight back down to the bottom. They're not kicking on. That these are the games they should be winning. That they can play good football, and then they come out and give us that performance. It's just, don't know. I think there's some work to do there, but better than Palace last year. Norwich, don't care what they could win every game for the rest of the season. The performance they've given us for the first 5 months is terrible. They can get out of the league.
Well, based on the football they play, Palace look like a top half team, but they're sitting in 13th, and there's a fair few teams around and they can easily jump them. So, yeah, good football's it's great, but it doesn't get you results. No 1-1 draw. Away from home is maybe okay, but against Norwich, that's the way I look at it. I think they should be doing better. Had a fair big chunk of the possession, 72%, 5 shots on target, 13 in total. Got to be doing better here. Wilfred Zaha, that penalty, he doesn't do that again. Like it's a 1 out of 10 chance that happens, but it just seems to happen on the same day. He scores an absolute worldie right beforehand. So, Campo, back to you then. What are your thoughts?
It's just one of those games, isn't it? What the Premier League loves to throw up. Norwich, getting belted all game pretty much. Didn't offer anything and still came out with a draw. It's just a game that Palace is going to look back and we should have picked up 3 points here.
Yeah, spot on. All right, we move into your boys now. Spurs, 3-2 loss at home. Give us your thoughts on the game to Southampton. Are you going to give Southampton credit?
I'll give James Ward-Prowse some credit because he picked out the same person 3 times and he made a mistake 3 times in a row. Emerson Royale had just an absolute shocker of a game. A lot of mistakes from both teams defensively, like the own goal, and then Ben Davies failed to clear it, which then Emerson Royale he was just ball watching, let that cross come back in, and then can't remember who scored their first goal.
Brozier.
And then again, 2 identical crosses. Emerson Royale that's just been a bad signing. Just for a wing back, he can't cross, he can't defend. He's just shit. And I'd rather play Doherty back there for the rest of the season than watch that idiot run up and down the pitch. But it's just a royal mistake to play in this game, and it cost us dearly.
Well, you said, again, in our grouping box, that was the best half of football you've seen from Southampton. That was the first half. Did you expect it to remain the same? Did you expect them to come out and just the whole game look great?
I didn't expect us to just... It was just a team that's a very good high-pressing team versus a team that's good at high tempo. And they just kept killing us with their high press over and over again. Harry Winks kept turning the ball over. So many mistakes from our defenders just trying to play the ball through the middle. Just a bad day at the office after a good win against Brighton in the Cup.
I think, do you have to look at individual chances here and think that Harry Kane, missed where he put over the bar, cost us possibly? Was that at 2-1, I believe? Would that have... It was
at 1-1. It was at 1-1. He had it straight at the ground. Again, it's just a chance that if it goes in, I still don't think Southampton were going to lose that game. They were the better team for the whole 90 minutes, and if Harry Kane scored that, I still reckon they would have won 4-3 in the end. Yeah,
well, it was a brilliant fight back from Southampton, and I'll give them full credit. They looked unbelievable. Basically, every player on the pitch for them looked great. Prowse is just, again, showing why he should be in that England setup for sure and shouldn't deserve to be, should he be there? It's just he needs to be there. Best set piece taker. whips the ball in on a dime to the identical ball, but to two different players. And yeah, Southampton got what they came for because they were fully up for this game. You saw the passion, Ralph at full time, and yeah, much deserved win. Big win, I think, for them. Puts them into 10th now, and they should hopefully kick on from here. As for you guys, look, it was a good chance for you to kind of make up a bit of ground on 4th. Even on Chelsea, I was kind of worried. You had 4 games in hand on us, win all 4, and you're only you could have gone above us. I believe.
Yeah, we're above.
That chance for you. But look, 3 games in hand, you'd still fancy your chances to hopefully get into 4th, if not just 5th. And yeah, it's an interesting one. Morty, what are your thoughts then?
I am just glad that Tottenham lost that game because otherwise I'd be sitting here blowing up because old mate Emerson Royale absolutely clobbered Brozier. That's given a free kick every other match in the past however long. And they wanted to turn a blind eye. Conte was shushing on the sideline, and I thought, no, there is no way this is going the other way. Southampton quality. Browsey put the same ball in twice. Consider the same. You'd think that the defense moved a little. Exact same ball in. Quality. Che Adams, and the bloke scores 1 goal a season. He's found the net again.
He's been alright this season, to be fair. He's found his shooting boots. Maybe he's turned a corner.
Because Brozier is actually that good that he's got to demand the defensive one. They got Che Adams just by himself. All the other defenders have just left him. But yeah, Southampton, they deserve the win. Only time this season I give them credit because I hate Spurs more. But fair play to them. And I'm just happy Southampton won. Like I would have been happy whoever won, like against Spurs because that goal was terrible. I don't know how that was put through. And then it was in the same, field of play. So how does VAR not take up that? Because it was in the same motion of play. It wasn't like a minute of ball passing around and then they scored. It's literally 25 seconds. And they scored off the back of it. So,
but again, the referee was right there. That's the whole tricky thing with VAR because they go, the referee saw the challenge. He was right there.
Yeah,
so the referee played on. So does VAR go, no, we think that's an obvious error. Go and have a look. Or was it, you saw that, that's your decision, we'll go with it.
It's one of those ones where it's like, VAR's leaving it up to the ref, I suppose, at that point to say, hey, have another look at that challenge. Do you think it's a foul? Right your own wrong kind of thing rather than us having to do it for you because it reflects worse on the ref, I think, at that point. And then you see refs get dropped for games all the time after poor VAR call. So I think at that point, you're giving the ref the chance to right his own wrong, but he's not done it. And how that was, again, given was pretty bad. So it was good to see Southampton, even a draw would have been, worth it for them. But to get 3 points, it's massive for them. Speaking of another 3 points, yet again, City 2-0 over Brentford. Stock standard stuff, really. They were made to work a little bit for it, but once that penalty went in, Riyad Mahrez, you knew that they weren't losing this game or even drawing. Pretty easy stuff for them. Campo, thoughts on the game? City running away with it?
Yeah, it's just a routine. A team that spends a lot of money versus a team that doesn't. It was just comfortable training run. Brentford didn't really apply any pressure, but I don't know what else to say. It's just comfortable for City. We all thought they were going to win, and they did what we all thought.
Mm-hmm. Morty, you don't like to think City's running away with it. You like to think you're still in with the chance. So thoughts on the game and City?
We're still in with a chance. I'm not going to discuss that now, but City, just usual City performance, quality, no mistakes made. They're just doing what they had to do. Sterling becomes the most awarded penalty person in the league, 23 times now. But take nothing away. City were always winning that. There's a clear pen. I'm not going to argue that.
It's a shocking challenge. I don't know why you're on the ground in the box like that, but
I don't know. Sterling, he knows what he's doing there. Sterling, you can't fault it for it. But Brentford, it looked like they've lost a little bit of fight. Maybe Eriksen can bring it back. I think Brentford, they came out hot. They got their points, and they know they're not going down now. So they're just going along. Props to them, do what they can.
they got the worst form in the league currently, but like you said, they got their points early, and that's crucial because they are a little bit, they're pretty safe right now. The 6 points, I suppose, clear of Norwich. So they're not there, they're not done yet, but you'd still fancy them to stay up at this point. But yeah, they need to turn that around, because if it keeps going and going and going, then these other teams will start picking up results. Then they're back in the relegation battle, and that's not where they want to be, especially at this stage of the season. So, yeah, and I suppose giving away dumb goals like the second one as well doesn't help. David Raya, just a pass to Sterling, I think it was, who missed, and then De Bruyne had to fix it up. It's funny also that City went from being the team that couldn't score a penalty to save their life to now Mahrez scoring, I think, his last 8 in a row. So they've found their man from the spot, which is crucial, because we know other teams.
Did he miss for Algeria though? Was that the team that missed?
City don't care about that, do they? They got him back early because of that. So it don't matter. All right, we're moving forward into probably the most entertaining game of the round. Villa 3, Leeds 3. Absolute cracker of a game. Morty, we'll start with you again. Thoughts? Coutinho, absolute star.
Coutinho star. Take nothing away. Ramsey, he's quality too. Young player coming through. And I suppose on the other side of the park, Dan James, young player. Again, he's been around for a while, but he's still, 20-something? 21?
24, yeah, still kicking.
Is he? Oh, he looks about 12, but he scored 2 headers. One header, was it? I can't remember what the first one was, but he definitely scored a header. I don't know how he managed that one, getting out-jumped by 2 others like 3 foot taller than him. But, yeah, Villa, they could have run away. I know what Campo's going to say. Bring the jokes in. Here comes Slippy G. Blah 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 blah. But Leeds showed some fight. Got away. Fair result. Great game. Good football.
Is it? I suppose, Campo, is it poor from Villa to throw this game away, being 3-1 up? I saw it start the first 4 games for CVG, 4 wins, and then they've only won their last 1 in 5. So worrying signs, or just a little bit of a hiccup here?
You should never be throwing a game away when you're 2 goals up. But again, they say it's the most dangerous to be up, because you get comfortable, they peg one back, and then you have all the momentum against you. But it's just a little hiccup. Stevie G's got that team playing how he wants. Coutinho and Jacob Ramsey are making a dynamic duo. But again, it's just one of those games. It was a cracker of a game. Could go down as the best game of the season. And they'll just put a line through it, say, we could have won, but we'll take a point at the end of it.
You look at players like Coutinho, and I suppose maybe I can compare to Hazard. They're players who just look like they're made for the Prem, but then they go to La Liga, which should be an easier league, but they can't do it there. So Coutinho, he's found his boots again. He's playing some unbelievable football. And again, looks like an absolute steal. He's going to cost 40 mil at the end of the season if they take the buy option, which I can't see why they wouldn't. They got rid of Grealish for 100, and they've gotten him for say 40 or on loan beforehand. Absolute steal. He's playing out of his skin again. And like I said there, Campo, Jacob Ramsey linking up with him is unbelievable. I want to ask, do you think that Jacob Ramsey is better than Jack Grealish was at the same age, like when they both burst onto the scene?
Nah. I just think
so.
Jack just had all that hype around him. He was the wonder kid coming through. No one ever heard of Jacob Ramsey until Coutinho started making him look good.
No, he was looking good.
Jack had all this hype around him where he was the next big thing, where I haven't seen anyone calling Jacob Ramsey the next big thing.
Maybe it's a good thing for him. Maybe it's a blessing. He can just kind of fly under the radar. Who knows? All right, Liverpool 2, Leicester 0. Good win, Morty. Comfortable? Thoughts?
Great win. I wouldn't say comfortable. I mean, it's Leicester at the end of the day. However, finally, again, Rodgers under pressure after 3 years of me calling it. But, Jota, he's looking first class at the moment. He making an argument for that starting role the whole time. And that midfield, it's impeccable. Thiago and Fabinho, I think they've played 14 games together, won 13, drawn 1. I don't know what else I have to sit here and say. Like Henderson, yeah, I know he's not the worst footballer I make him out to be, but for this team, I think you can comfortably play that, and you can almost play Bobby in behind these 3 now because we have, Diaz coming through. That we've got these options. Minamino's even scoring in cup games. He's doing things that put some pressure on him. I'm just happy to see it's going on. But yeah, Schmeichel had a wonder game. I could have be sitting here saying 0-0 if it was, because Schmeichel he was just saving everything left, right, and centre. He almost saved Jota. Took Jota's follow up from the 2-yard line just to put it in, but Goldie puts us 3 points closer.
I mean, it helps that you didn't drop points, I suppose, when City pick up points. But like I said there, about that front line, I suppose they're all contributing in their own way. Luis Diaz comes in now and he has a great game following up from his good stint in the Cup as well. I suppose they're asking questions of these players who aren't starting. I mean, Salah's never going to get dropped, but when he's benched, you can see that they still do the business. Thiago Jota looking unbelievable signing, probably one of that has to be. Obviously, it's been there for a little bit now. It has to be just an absolute bargain in terms of getting that kind of player who's just come in and score. I think he's got 30 goals in 60 appearances or something, or was it 20 and 40 or something like that?
So 30 and 60 after this morning.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask more than 1 in 2 really of a player. So phenomenal from him. Liverpool, I thought it was pretty comfortable for you. Leicester didn't look great, and I think once Leicester catch up in terms of games in hand and don't pick up too many more points, Rodgers is in some serious hot water because they're in 12th now, and yes, they still have the 3 games in hand to make up, but you can't see them winning all 3 of them to get them back in that mix for Europe. It's worrying signs, and it could spell the end of Brendan Rodgers, which you'd finally be right 3 years in the making. Campo, what are your thoughts? Is Brendan Rodgers on the way out?
He's digging his own grave. Look at the team he's thrown out. He's thrown that out to get sacked. He's playing Ndidi and Amati at centre back when you have Sionchu.
He's done that all year.
I know, but I'm saying Ndidi is a centre defensive mid who is better than what they've got in there. You've got your Harvey Barnes, your Tielemans on the bench, Dewsbury Halls and Sumare. Who the hell are they? And why are they starting over them? He's pretty much just said Ricardo Pereira as well over Justin. Come on.
Well, the thing he's done, right, he's got slapped up by Forest in the Cup with a lot of those other players who were on the bench started, and he's thought, they weren't good enough. I need to bench them. But really, he should have been saying that's still my best team. Let them right their wrongs. Yeah,
it's absolute, and it's in a big game where Liverpool kind of struggled against Leicester in the past. I couldn't believe what Brendan Rodgers threw out that game, and they deserve to get slapped up that game because they had 1 shot on target in 90 minutes.
Do you think sacked by season's end, or are we giving him time?
It depends where they finish. If they finish bottom 10, he's gone. If they manage to crawl up a Euro Conference League, he'll stay.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. I think that if they can somehow get that Conference League, maybe he'll stay put, but it's not looking good for him. Which brings us into the final game of the round. One of the funniest, actually, I think. Wolves 1-0 loss to Arsenal. Arsenal still got it done. However, that red card for 2 yellows, I should say, for Gabriel Martinelli. What was it? 2 yellow cards in the space of 5 seconds. Both are basically off the ball incidents, really. Like one of them's a push, one of them's just trying to get back and right is wrong, and again, stupid. I think it's just dumb from a young kid. Would you say? Would you say it's just inexperience from the lad?
Inexperience, a close game. He just lost his head. Arsenal had a really good chance to kill this game off when they went down to 10 men. Lacazette one-on-one with the keeper.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that if they didn't sign a striker in the window, if they had signed, a striker, he probably puts that away.
Mm.
I think they did well to hold on at the end there. Again, you want to win when you're playing ugly. But again, another team that would have put a few chances away this game. And then Arsenal will be sitting there regretting their decisions not buying a striker.
Yeah, spot on. I think they did want to hold on for sure, but I've said it. Lacazette's not that striker for them. They need better, and a good striker, like you said, there finishes that. You've looked at Dusan Vlahovic. He's got 2 in 2 already for Juve, and you just think the longer that goes on, the more he scores. Why didn't they just slap the fee on him straight away? So yeah, they got away with it, but other days they're not going to have it. Like you said, they're going to get punished for those chances. I was surprised. I actually said on the preview that I didn't think Wolves stood a chance of losing this game, but Arsenal made me eat my words there, and it's a good win for Arsenal. It puts them into 5th. They've got 2 games in hand. Win both, they're only 2 points behind Chelsea in 3rd. So they're coming good at the right time of the season, towards the back end. But yeah, it's one of those ones where they can be happy today, but will they be happy next week? Had the same thing happen? Probably not. In terms of Martinelli, he'll learn from that. I'm sure he's probably going to get a good talking to from the boss, from Arteta. I can't see him doing something like that again. It's just a bit silly from him, really. As you can see there, Morty's not with us right now. He's taking a phone call by the looks of it. So we're going to wrap up the pod. We've got another one because it's a quick turnaround. So we'll be out and we'll see you again soon.
Peace.